Cancer, the person on your mind this week, how do they feel? What are their intentions? What are their actions? This will not resonate with everyone. Take what does, leave the rest. Switch the rules if you have to. If the shoe doesn't fit, don't force it. If it's too confusing, it's just not your reading. So, Cancer. I started this reading before and my video storage was full, so it like cut right in the middle of my video. So, I'm going to start it again. How they feel, Cancer, they feel bad, they feel sad. Five of Cups, it's almost like mourning the loss, not always physically but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Somebody here could be going through something in their own life, like they could be going through something. It could be unrelated to you, some type of loss. That's not for everyone, but Five of Cups is literally looking at the glass half empty, being very pessimistic and sad. This is how they feel. When I ask why, I get the Seven of Pentacles. They feel like they've wasted time. They feel like they've wasted money, energy, resources. This is someone who, there's this energy of having to turn their back, or if they've turned their back and now they're trying to kind of like gather their life again together, trying to redirect. That's what that feels like. Um I was also getting like this is someone who feels like that was all for nothing. Like what did I get out of it? Or like what came out of it? Like we couldn't keep growing, we couldn't go forward. There's a lot of, a lot of sadness regarding that. When I asked for their intentions, I got the Five of Pentacles, which is like not giving anything, not being able to give anything. Time, money, resources. The Pentacles is it's you're standing in the world. Some of you could be dealing with someone who is going through a financial struggle. Maybe someone here doesn't have a job. I'm also getting there could be children involved here. I'm getting like a single mom, a single dad. So when I asked what was this Three of Swords had come out, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I asked the outcome this week. It's a third party energy, a betrayal, a sadness, more sadness, being stabbed in the heart. This feels very raw. This feels like this feels like it was very recent, or someone still hasn't even begun to process their feelings. Um, I had gotten the Five of Swords too, which made me feel like Cancer, your person, they need to have a lot of control in this situation, because the Five of Swords is someone who they want to stay ahead. They could be a bit arrogant. They could feel like this because of resentments or because of a fear. That Three of Swords, maybe there's a fear that someone is going to betray them in some way. I feel like this is someone who will rub everything in your face, whether it's happened a year ago, whether it's happened 10 years ago. This is someone who wants to make you feel like you've made them feel, or how you could potentially make them feel. It's a little bit cruel. I feel like the way this person speaks to you, Cancer, I feel like they might not be the nicest at times. They may be very cold, very detached. They may also bully you or make you feel small in some way. But again, I think it goes back to this person feeling resentful, or feeling like a buildup of things that it's very hard for them to let go, no matter how big or small. Also, Five of Swords, Three of Swords, that makes Eight of Swords. This person might also feel very insecure, Cancer. This person might feel very limited, very restricted. They may get stuck in their head and in their thoughts. And this is someone who they may need to get out of their head, because I'm not saying you're a saint. I don't know what the situation was, but this is someone who kind of could overdo it, the way they speak, their actions towards you. They may overdo it, and it could be a lot because of, like I said, it could be things that happened, but it's almost like an add-on. What this makes me think of, when you go buy ice cream and you want a vanilla ice cream, and maybe you want some, I don't know, some M&Ms on it, whatever, but then you keep adding on, and now that ice cream is like, it's a lot, it's too much. And this is what this person is making me feel like. They could be a little too much in their accusations, in the way they want to take over the situation, in their need to control. um and like I said, it could stem from things that have happened, maybe things that you've done or you've made them feel, or it could just be that, what I said, that add on to the point that you just, you can't take it anymore, you don't want it. That's what that feels like. um that's also relevant. I feel like Cancer, some of you are just tired of this person's accusations. You may be tired of their the way they speak to you. You may be tired of even their reactions. Ultimately, with that Five of Swords, there's just a lot of frustration and tension. And like I said, it's a buildup to sum that up. Okay, so how the Two of Pentacles had this came out when I asked, how do you view them? So you view them as someone who's very busy, very preoccupied. You could view them as someone who can't really make up their mind. You may view them, this is very specific, as someone that you're juggling, because that Two of Pentacles, it could be, there could be a juggle. I don't know if you're doing it to them, they're doing it to you. I feel like because you're viewing them like that, it could be you're juggling them, and maybe you're juggling, it doesn't have to be a different another person. It could just be responsibilities. You have to juggle, you have to, it's like different priorities in your life. Let me get, what is the mutual energy between Cancer? It's funny, we have that Eight of Swords, which I was talking about. I saw that Three of Swords and the Five of Swords, which makes Eight of Swords. And I just open the deck and I get the Eight of Swords. It's almost like Cancer, you feel like you're very busy. You may be very busy. You may work a lot. You may have a lot of things going on. Some of you could be in a relationship and have this person too. That's not for everyone. But I feel like with the Eight of Swords, it's like you have to also, like, everything you have going on in your life, all the stress, all the worries, and then you also have to put up with this person and their energy. And I mean, this is how you feel. Like I said, guys, I'm just reading energy. There could be legit reasons why Cancer's person is acting like this. There may not be. Every situation will be different, but this is just the energy I'm picking up on. Cancer, you feel like you have to juggle and put up with, and um all these like negative behaviors or negative words, or just um there's energy where you view them as very either insecure or someone who could make you even feel kind of limited or restricted. But I feel like it stems from an internal, the Cancer's person's, oh my god, sorry guys, this feels all over the place. All this insecurity, it stems from Cancer's person. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like I'm trying to really dig into it. And that's also relevant. Someone digs into it to the point that it just makes no sense anymore. And I really feel like it could be Cancer's person. They dig into these things that make absolutely no sense, that are, or to the Cancer, it just might not make sense. Maybe to the person it does. But ultimately, this is giving me a headache. Someone here may get headaches, or just, this overthinking. It's just a lot. That's what that feels like. But anyways, what is the outcome? What is the mutual energy? I'm so sorry, guys. What is the mutual energy? Someone here also obsessed with something to the point that they can't even focus on anything else. Once they get a thought in their head, that thought turns into branches and branches and branches and branches. It doesn't even look like a damn tree anymore. Like, it's just insane. That's what that feels like. Anyways, Cancer's, not Cancer's person. um what is the mutual energy between Cancer and this person? Ace of Cups, the Nine of Wands. So afraid of being vulnerable, that is the mutual energy. This is having a lot of love, having a lot of emotion, but not being able to either express it to the full potential, or having a wall up. The love, now we have the Ace of Swords. There is a fear of vulnerability here. It's easier to grab a knife and, like, literally, like, hurt yourself than just grabbing this cup and giving it to the person. Like, someone here prefers to do that before they show, or they express, or they let the other person have, like, even a hint of their love or dedication. I mean, every situation will be different, guys, but it feels like there's, in a general sense, it feels like there's a strong energy where just someone or both of you can't be vulnerable, or don't want to be, because of this. Like I said, it's easier to just grab, it's easier, look at this knife, grabbing that knife. I prefer grabbing that knife than giving you this cup and letting you see, and show you, and being vulnerable. That's what that feels like. But anyways, all right, sorry guys, this one got a little deep. What is Look, I split the deck. Unbothered, wasting time. Someone feels like they're wasting time. They feel like they're just stuck in the same place, nothing's changing. And someone here is not letting the other person, like, they are totally unbothered. They're focusing on themselves. Maybe they are hurting inside, but they're not going to show this. They're not going to let the person know. Um, let me get one more. Okay, hustling. Someone's busy making money. And hook. This makes me think of the hangman, just an energy of feeling stuck. Someone may also be having difficulty with money. Um, just because I thought of the hangman. At the same time, though, this could also be an energy where I don't know if one or both of you, you're just so hooked on each other, like no matter what. It's just hard to completely unhook yourself. So that's what that feels like. I'm getting a bit of a depression too. Hangman is also like spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul. There could be a bit of a depression here. And what this is making me think, maybe someone just prefers focusing on being productive than even having to worry, or working is a good way to distract themselves from all this. But anyways, oh, I'm also getting something about a beanie, something about the color red, a beanie. Maybe someone here wears glasses. Maybe someone here has, something about flowers, buying the other person flowers. Maybe that was a thing. Now I'm kind of getting like, are we a thing? Are, like, questioning, like, what are we? But that's, oh, this went all over the place. Anyways, that's what I'm getting, Cancer. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.